Hi, everybody. It's Kevin Ioli at Yahoo Sports. I hope by now you've caught my breaking news story that pound for pound champion Terence Crawford, the WBO welterweight boxing champion, has re-signed a lucrative long-term deal with Top Rank. So he will be with Top Rank for the next couple of years going forward. Obviously, a huge day for Top Rank because Crawford's one of those guys you can't replace. He's a guy that is at the top of the food chain. I have him number one pound for pound. ESPN has him number two. You know, he's in the top five pretty much unanimously. I think in the top three pretty much unanimously. That's a guy you can't let walk away. A lot of you guys, though, are questioning why Crawford would sign with Top Rank when most of the best welterweights, the guys that you want to see him fight, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, etc., are with Heyman Boxing's premier boxing champions? And it's a good question. Of course, boxing thrives when you make the best fights and the fights that people want to see, the epic fights. Those are the ones that make boxing go and generate the most interest. And of course, the fight that everybody really wants to see down the road, sometime next year, I think would be Terence Crawford against Errol Spence Jr. But here's how I think that could happen. When Fox made its announcement with the PBC earlier this week that they had done a $50 million deal for a 4-year rights fee, it wasn't paid too much attention to that they announced they were going to do pay-per-views as well as 10 primetime shows on Fox and 12 shows on Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports Deportes. ESPN, which has a deal with Top Rank, also is going to do pay-per-views. So here's what I think could happen. Just like we saw a few times in the past where Showtime and HBO got together and did a pay-per-view, I think you could see Fox and ESPN get together and put Crawford versus Spence on a pay-per-view. That would allow us as fans to get to see the fight, and that would make sure that both of them fulfilled what they wanted in terms of getting money out of the deal. It's difficult to think of any other way that that could work. But I think that's one way it could happen, and that would be an epic fight. Anybody who's followed me for a long time knows how high I am on Errol Spence coming out of the Olympics in 2012. I kind of had tabbed him as one of the guys, along with Jose Ramirez, to watch and thinking he was going to be a superstar. I remember talking to so many people, and the name that kept coming up in those early days was Sugar Ray Leonard. And nothing Spence has done since then would discourage that comparison. And Ray Leonard is one of the all-time great fighters. But now we see Crawford. He unified the 140-pound championship last year, was a terrific lightweight. People forget about that, but he was an absolutely fantastic lightweight. Now he's at welterweight. He knocked out Jeff Horn to win a title there. He's probably going to fight October 13th on ESPN in Omaha, his hometown, against Jose Benavidez, another undefeated young fighter. But Crawford really can do it all. He's so smart in the ring. He can punch, he can move, he can box. Nothing that he cannot do. So I think when you look at this, that is a really epic fight that could be made. And I think that's the way it could get done. But Top Rank says they are willing to work with everybody. Heyman has to be willing to work with everybody as well. And I think there has to be some sharing. But I think seeing Spence Crawford on a dual pay-per-view, both on ESPN and on Fox, might be the way that happens. I'm Kevin Ioli. Keep it locked right here. Thanks, everybody.